Let's start over.
Shut up and sit down.
There are two ways to fix anything, WD-40 and duct tape.
I'm gonna ride my bicycle to your place.
Once again, proof. You can fix anything with duct tape.
I'm gonna play on my guitar, go for a
You are listening to the Dialed Podcast with Matt Lee Grand, Evan Price, Lance Hepler, and Jake Von During. Marriage is a wonderful invention, but then again, so is a bicycle repair kit.
walk right in and sit down on the bed.
I'm trying to buy some WD-40 and get out of this godforsaken store.
I'm gonna push that beat up car to you.
You know that one of my biggest pet peeves is excessive bike
You're
noise.
smiling back at me. You are the only thing that feels like
Hi, and welcome back to the Dial Podcast. I'm Jake Von During. I'm here with Lance friggin' Hepler.
Lance friggin' Hepler.
Freaking Hepler.
I got fancy
Oh, I thought it
rocks
was
for you
cool.
guys.
God, man, you
No
brought some
kidding.
rocks.
I just stole this one. Dibs.
All right, these are.
Okay, let's
these
see.
are I'm bringing
rock
rocks for
talk.
everybody.
Oh, I like mine.
This is Rock Dog.
These are. What are they?
This is Rock Dog.
I don't know.
What's it look like?
Yeah, Matt, what is
A dinosaur
yours?
blew its nose, and it
No.
over the years it got harder. And
Okay,
and
tell
we're
me.
collecting it.
Does these look cool or not? Or are these like
These are
they're
awesome.
weird?
I
lame?
like this. No,
These,
this one's really cool.
These are fire agates from Saddle Mountain, Arizona that were collected and then tumbled in a rock tumbler for like a month and a half.
Oh, wow.
You're like, I'm going on a trip. I guess it's gonna be a month and a half rock tumbling.
I like this.
That's how you base all of your time frames for rock tumbling.
Anyway,
Mine is very smooth and has a gradation of colors all the way from a dark pea dehydrated brown to a clear white purulent look.
okay, enough of that.
Let me see yours real quick. Yeah, this is a cool one. Very cool. Well, thanks, Lance. That's pretty cool of you. See this one. To Lance's left, Evan Bryce. Well, I've forgotten what I'm drinking because I am really, really involved in this rock right now. This is a cool one.
Everybody's making fun
This
of
is
me,
good.
and now I'm your hero. So
And now everybody wants gifts from me. I am drinking an Arizona tea because they are still 99 cents. Did we talk about this on this podcast
no,
yet? How
I
that
didn't know that.
CEO is
99 cents.
firm on keeping up 99
So
cents.
they're basically free with inflation.
Yes.
They're free now.
I am firmly buying Arizona tea out of support of this CEO and this
going
company.
out of business
What a great
shortly.
they are for sure going out of business, but I will do my best to keep them in business. I probably buy 5 Arizonas a week. If we all do that, America, together, they will probably still go out of business. But that's okay.
They have to because they're losing money on each purchase. So you're only
They probably
you're
are.
accelerating.
Am I
You're accelerating. their
Am I
business.
causing more of an issue by this?
I don't know.
It's okay.
That sounds
Arizona,
good.
you can raise your prices. I would still buy your stuff. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
To Evan's left, Matt LeGrand.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? What's up? I don't know. What's going
up?
on? What's up?
What's up?
What's it?
The man
What's
of
up? I
YouTube
mean-
and the internet raced.
Yes.
He's a racing man now.
Once a year.
Matt, did you actually race?
I raced.
did.
You
A full
lined
thing.
up and
You know what?
did something?
The entire thing,
I
too.
was out there just wandering around looking for you. I was heckling people, but it was just like it didn't make any. It wasn't funny anymore.
It wasn't the
not
same
it wasn't the
without
same.
somebody to back you up. I
It was
should have been
a-
there.
It was a sad, sad scene.
I was screwing off
we're
out
not
in
there.
the gorge or something.
Let's
I don't
backpedal. Matt, tell us about it.
I participated in a no. So I think even when I had the surgery, I was like, well, maybe if things go really, really well, I could do the last triathlon of the season, which is this Columbia River Tri, and I could just walk the 5K. And so that was kind of a goal in the back of my head a long time ago. And it was just, on the last podcast, I was like, when is that race? And you guys were like, this weekend.
This week.
And I was like, man, I can't because my wife's going somewhere. I don't know where she's going. Turns out
She went to the
was
Chicks
gonna drive
concert.
to the Chicks, the Dixie
Yeah.
Chicks.
We called it.
But
This was at the Gorge Amphitheater.
What's really
wasn't it?
funny is I got home and I asked her, like, where's this concert? Like, where are you going? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, didn't feel quite as guilty for not knowing like where she was going
'Cause she didn't know
even
either.
But then one of the girls she was going with, I think, had got COVID, and so then they were like, forget this. We're gonna just go into Portland and do like get a hotel and stay there. And then that turned into like, well, let's just go to the Vancouver waterfront and then come back to our own homes. And so it was like, it kind of kept getting
depreciated quite a bit. Yeah.
So I was talking to him and I was like, I bet you if I serve you guys some drinks and we have an outdoor movie or something, you guys would just stay home. And of course they were like, no. Trying to like just whittle them down to just staying close to home. This is
the most 40-something quote-unquote weekend out I've ever heard. It's weekend out. We're going on the town or not. We could stay in.
Or not.
Or why don't we do next week?
What if I just put my pajama pants on right now?
You guys have to nap on the couch now.
Yeah. So they did end up going to downtown Vancouver. They had a great time.
What night was that? Because me and Cassie also we went to like a blues concert.
Saturday night they went to this. I don't know.
We were there Friday night.
Okay, yeah, they went to the waterfront. You went out the night before your race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
I hit the town.
I did the same.
And by hit the town, I mean we drove 2 minutes down the road, parked, laid in the grass. I took a little nap.
Drove to go 2 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
We actually did literally drive to the waterfront. Now I think about it. I was sore, man. Okay, don't judge me.
This is supposed to be a judgment-free podcast.
All the judgment.
It's supposed to be judgment-free here. Yeah. So I finished and people were like, "How'd you do?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I got a time."
You actually finished it. You actually did the whole swim and the whole bike.
Yeah.
And you muddled through the whole run.
Yeah. Actually ran probably 2 out of 3 miles.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was I was actually feeling horrible. My Achilles was really hurting. And I got to a point where I saw John Hoffman. This is the highlight of the back pedal doesn't matter. This is the highlight of the week. I saw John Hoffman walking and I was like, stop, turn around, walk with me. And because he was like cheering for me or something like that. And so he walked with me for like half a mile. And I was like,
fantastic.
Then I felt better. And I was like, all right, let's start jogging again or whatever.
That man's got long legs. He could drop you walking too. You got to be careful.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
he'd fly. If we were doing race walking, my money's on John
I could have
Hoffman.
been running and he could have dropped me walking. So,
yeah.
But I mean, I hadn't seen him
my
since he
highlight
broke
too,
his
seeing him.
arm.
Yeah.
And so just
his
good to
arm's
catch up
looking
with
great.
him.
Yeah, he's coming around well.
Yeah, he's going to be fine. So that was also off of 3 weeks of no biking and vacationing and whatever. And
It's an excellent taper going into this race.
It was an amazing taper. It was a good
I should have
taper.
gone and done that with you.
You would have.
I could have wore my floaties on my arms so I didn't sink.
That's still my goal.
You
Is
would have
that,
had no
is that
problem.
before the 4 of us are not able to race anymore, and
we just do it all together.
With my trajectory now, that might actually be at the same time as you.
About the
3,
same.
who knows?
Roughly.
But is I'm going to get Jake to do a triathlon at some point. I know he's fully capable. The problem is I know his ankle would really hate the run, and the shoulder might not like
But
swimming. But
you
we
can
could figure out the swimming.
Yeah, but like I could have put my floaties on. I could have gone on a beach cruiser. We could have like beach cruised it,
You
and then
can
we
do
could have
the
walked it
paddle
together.
board.
Yeah.
You can do the
That's true.
paddle
I saw
board
that,
with
yeah.
Austin Wick.
Yeah.
Austin Wick is crushing the paddle tries right now.
won
He needs
that,
some
didn't he?
competition.
So he needs some competition,
Yeah, he needs some
huh?
competition. So we need to get.
But I have to run though. But my ankle's actually. I shouldn't be saying this out loud.
Doing okay.
It's been feeling pretty good. We've been doing some jogging.
Nice.
What?
Well,
Nice.
during hikes, it's like light jogging, kind of
just
running
little.
around a little bit.
Nice.
We were going around when we were up camping, and we were at Lost Lake. There's a 3-mile lap around Lost Lake.
Yeah.
The backside
That's
was
what
like
Alex told me, yeah.
massive mosquitoes, massive. It was
Ooh,
like
so
terrible. And I'm like, I ain't gonna
jog a little bit.
Yeah. So we
Do mosquitoes like your blood usually, or do you like Becca's more?
more her, but
Yeah,
I
so
didn't.
they like cats
they were
too.
still
They
like
stay away from
landing
me.
all over us. So we started
that's bad.
jogging for probably about like on and off
get
for
away
about a
from the
mile. And like,
mosquitoes,
I was worried my ankle was gonna hurt or give out. It didn't do anything. I was like,
Wow.
that's actually pretty good. Maybe I can do cyclocross in the fall.
There you
Oh,
go.
there you go.
Hey, and if Matt knows anything, is that if you have a good running background,
You can do
it
cyclocross.
means you're going to dominate cyclocross.
dominate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's all it takes is being good.
My biking, I was looking at the wattage. It was ugly. It was ugly.
What's your FTP right now? Would you say?
I would guess
Take a guess.
I would guess 220 to 230.
Okay.
It was pretty bad. I was biking and I was just like, this is bad.
We haven't gone hard on a bike in a few years.
Well, not that long, but a long time.
Right.
And
Yeah, not longer
and the
than
3-week taper didn't help, I don't think. but I was out there. It's
fine. You know now
you're
that
not
3
on a
weeks is
TT
too
bike.
long of a taper.
I probably only got passed by people on TT bikes, but still, I was like, oh man, I am not moving well.
it was a little soul crushing.
And then I was, I mean, like, there's no reason for me to be that bad at biking. Like, the Achilles is fine biking. Like, it's just being out of shape.
You just have 3 weeks, dude. It's the summer.
But it's summer. It's a summer break.
Dude, you got
Everybody
kids, you
has
need to go on
seasons
vacation.
in their life, Matt.
Yes.
Your season
Sunset.
Your
Sunset
season.
season.
The sunsets. You were in the fall.
It felt like I was about to fall. But yeah, so it was super fun to be out there for sure, doing a race.
Cool.
If you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Mostly it was fun
Cassie
to
was
see
so
people.
happy to see you there too.
Yeah. It was good to see her, and it was good to see everyone.
There, yeah.
And then I hung out with Nels because he locked his keys in his car or whatever. So we hung out for like
it's fun.
We hung out like 2 hours afterwards.
It's fun seeing these kids each year at Columbia. Like they're all getting older and it's fun because I mean, you think about it, even when I got here, it's like some of these kids they weren't even in high school yet. So it's like it's cool seeing them. Now they're like juniors and seniors and they're graduating. And they're graduating. There's someone going off to college. And
I will say that the Dialed juniors just look fast out on the road.
I'm now realizing they're not as young as I think they are anymore, and they're like also winning and being on podiums. I'm like, oh wow,
they're creeping up on fast. And they're just getting more mature and more fun to hang out with too. And it's just nice. Yeah, it's nice to see that group.
And they're also getting like more annoyed with us too because they're cool now.
We need a new crop of younger juniors so that we can feel fast again.
Yeah, and then they can actually
graduate and all go do like faster things.
We need more 6th to 8th graders right now, which we actually do. We have a little crew building up. It's cool because they still think that we're cool at that age, and then they hit 16 and they realize no, Matt LeGrand is old. He is not cool.
And decrepit.
And nobody cares about YouTube anymore, man.
No, we're on TikTok.
Yeah, they're like,
how many followers do you have on TikTok?
Yeah.
Oh, 7? Okay. Dang it.
Right on, Evan.
I was
what's up, dude?
Also at the Columbia River Tri this weekend with Matt. Matt beat me because I did not swim. I did a bike and a run with a relay.
The way I described it is it came down to the wire, and I tripped you at the finish line.
Yes, exactly.
And
exactly.
And I biked through.
Matt
biked your run.
I biked your run 200 segment. Much better than me. He took the turn better at the last corner and cut me off.
It was probably the spikes that I was wearing.
He was running cross bikes.
How you did a relay and you did the bike section.
Yep. Oh, GCN.
That was interesting.
GCN.
If anybody wants a peek into what we're going to be talking about for the main topic today,
cycling shorts.
I'm sure everybody can recognize that voice too. Who watches enough YouTube cycling knows like what that is.
Simon from GCN. I like that. He's like one of my favorites of those people.
I love the GCN crew.
But anyway, but I do want to hear about your bike. Was it like it's like 11 and a half miles or something? It's a weird distance, right?
It was like 11.6, I think, or something. Yeah.
Did you rip it? Did you full gas it?
Did you go feel hard?
So I am in. This is where
this is crowds to deal with.
This is my 4 to 5 minute complain about my privileged life where I get to train a whole lot and try to be fast. I am really tired right now, trying to hold it together. But I am in the very middle of a block that will be leading into the last 3 races of my year. So it was like 5 weeks of my goal was.
But your year is just a continuation of last year, which
rolls
right into next year.
This is.
But you got to
don't talk sense, Matt.
You got to peak.
Let him roll with his
peak.
This is a core. My peak is going to last 9 months, Matt. So
it's a 365 week plan.
So I have been really trying to hit like 26 hours a week, which I'm hitting consistently right now. Good. Which I'm like, this is my ticket to being in barely above anonymity in the pro field. I want to be that guy that somebody's like, oh man, I saw him slip into the top 8 once. Be like, neat, somebody recognized
bloody leg guy. Yeah. It's bloody leg guy. I know him.
That guy had a good day once.
Yeah,
that's like literally what I'm looking at is that guy had a good day once. But so I am tired, and it is a lot of training, but. We have our Columbia River Tri, and I coach a lot of the kids who are going into this race. And Maddie puts together a ton of relays, and the kids want to race each other.
She's been doing that for a couple years now, and she works hard on it.
She does, and she was asking me, she's like, "I need you to be the bike in this said relay." Our runner decided she wanted to do the whole race, which I was awesome because I'm like, "Good, you should do the whole race. Do it." That meant, though, that now, because Josh was volunteering, that I needed to bike and run. So I was like, wow, this turned into...
Can you do that in a relay? Are you allowed to have
We're not going to the specifics, Matt. Our relay won, okay? Me and Lucy crushed, all right?
It was you and Lucy. Got it. Okay.
Me and Lucy Demra, and she had an awesome swim. Like, she is a very good pool swimmer. She's one of our younger juniors.
Were your guys' collective time faster than... Kevin or whoever? I think Kevin won the whole thing. Maybe.
Yes, me and Lucy had won the sprint triathlon on the day. Even though I don't think you can count that a relay technically wins the race, but
you can't. But I was just curious.
No, but we were racing.
It makes sense that you guys faster.
Jack, Adam Raymond, and Nicholas Marty, which was like a super.
That was the
A
team.
That was the A team for the relay. And Lucy is like excited. She's like, I want to win this. And she's a competitive young girl.
Yeah,
so I was
she
like,
seems cool.
I was like, oh crap,
this is the first time I talked to her.
I got to go hard today. So I woke up on Saturday and I was actually even a little bit nervous because I'm like, I can't let Lucy down. She thinks we're going to win this thing. And I'm like, I can't tell her, Lucy, I'm really tired. And I've been trained, the kid's like, I don't care if you've been trained 26 hours a week. I want to win this relay. Shut up and do it. So we
know your role.
Yeah, know your role. I mean, you're supposed to win the race. So it was a blast and more. It was so fun seeing it's cool seeing the juniors. Now they're the ones like winning like Natalie Moser won the sprint triathlon. Maddie was third, I think.
Yeah.
Haley at the girlfriends try was like, Haley Gunderson was like, I'm going to get the place wrong. I think she was like the second or fourth.
Third or fourth.
Third or fourth. Yeah. Like right there.
And I think Natalie was second.
Yeah. I mean, they're all like, these are the girls winning these races now. And it is so
like
fun
overall,
to watch.
not in the juniors.
Overall.
Hey.
They're flying now. So it was really fun to see. And in this relay, I mean, you got Nels. Nels is going to college here. So, like Nels is getting faster and faster on the bike. Adam Raymond's getting faster. I know Nels was really fast last year. But yeah.
So
Adam Raymond's a good example right now. Adam is flying.
He weighs about 140 pounds, I'm guessing. His FTP right now is 325.
He's no joke.
He's gonna be a senior in high school this year, so he's 17, turning 18.
And he can crit race too. That's the thing. Is like, yes, his FTP is great, but that's not what makes him fast. He rides a bike fast in the corners.
He's been doing fantastic. He comes out to all the flogging rides, and we're constantly giving little pointers and tips to the point now where it's like he doesn't need any more of those. It's like, Adam, can you wait up for us, please? Stop attacking off the front.
He also holds the VIC KOM right now, which is the loop that we do every single Thursday for our practices. And I don't think anybody's touching it. He averaged almost 27 miles an hour on that loop. I don't think anybody's touching that KOM for a little bit.
Wow.
Have you gone out after it? No,
I really haven't, just because on Thursdays my legs are not there. That's a convenient excuse. Adam
Lance
Raymond,
is already plotting and scheming. I can see his eyes over here.
Adam Raymond on a short course with a couple turns is probably going to pit me at over a 4 or 5 minute effort. That kid can get after it over 4 or 5 minutes. But anyway,
so what did you do on the TT bike?
So
you had your aero helmet?
And I'm gonna brag for a short second. Going into this big block, I really was not sure where my top end is right now.
Right.
I pushed, so I went full aero gear. And I pushed over. So the race, including the begin, had me at 27.2 mile an hour average. Now that includes the in and out of the park. My moving out when I was out there actually moving was a little north of 28.
And I was gonna say,
that's the fastest I've been. And I trained there.
Traffic.
Yeah, and I trained there all the time. So I know exactly what my usual efforts are.
I bet you there are there's a probably large percentage of that where you're over 30.
Yeah, my aero position right now, like the new position I got into, is really slippery. It's very slippery. I can push really good watts in it. Got off the bike, actually felt comfortable. I knew I had to push those because I coach Nicholas Marty for running. He is a collegiate runner, and I know exactly how fast Nicholas is, and he is not slow. I did have a big gap on him, but I was like,
but you were going to run hard.
Still wanted to push.
What did you run in the 5K? Like
5:12, 5:14.
Yeah, the mile splits are better because the distance.
And then the last one, once I had the 5K, I just cruised in. So
5:12.
It was a 16:20 5K.
5:12, 5 what?
5:14, and then
cruise 5:30 or something.
Okay. 5:20 and change, I think, but yeah. So it was a 16:25K. If I was really pushed, I think everybody always likes to say, "Oh, if I was pushed, I could go 20 seconds faster." I really do think on a race with a taper, I could go 15 high. I think is where my sprint speed is right now. Nothing special in the pro field, but it's at least a good run.
Sub 16.
Yeah, sub 16.
Yep, sounds right.
Off the bike.
Crazy enough,
I don't think fresh I'm that much faster, but
crushing those kids out there.
You made them cry. That 12-year-old girl was in tears.
She
after
deserved
Evan
what she
finished.
got. Evan crushed
Evan, way to go, Evan.
I did feel bad.
You can hold your head high.
We're at the relay rack, and it's like all dialed kids and me. So we're like pumping up and being excited. There's like 2 super nervous looking middle-aged people there that are like,
what am I doing here?
They're like probably riding their bike for the 4th time. I
Right.
think. They're like the runner's like never done a 5K before. And like Adam Raymond's talking like, Evan, what do you go to average watt wise? And like we're sitting there like joking about this stuff. And I was like, if these poor people in this relay had any hope of making a podium, they looked over and see the state 800-meter champ coming out of the water, handing off to the Oregon crit champ who's running a collegiate 5K runner after.
Like, the mountain bike might have been a bad choice here.
Maybe I should have taken the fenders off.
There were a lot of those bikes out there, which I love it.
13-year-old
That's
looks really
fantastic.
fast.
Yeah, exactly. Come out, bring
those people
any
out there.
bike. Bring any bike.
Absolutely.
Come do triathlon.
Were words exchanged as you passed kids?
Was I trash talking?
I yelled at every kid. Every dialed kid I yelled at.
No, but Josh did tell me that when Marty was coming up to the aid station, he was yelling for a split to me.
Oh, really?
So I know that they were getting after it. And then it was the same thing with the girls were definitely racing each other in the sprint race too. They wanted to know splits to each other. They were, yeah.
Oh, wow.
They were doing that at the girlfriend's triathlon
they've got that
too.
Competitive itch. It is, yeah.
Out there taking pictures at the girlfriend's triathlon yesterday, and I was like tracking all of them. I think I got just about every single one of them rubbernecking over the shoulder and then doing split times on the.
Yep, they're looking.
Yeah,
they're looking.
They wanted to know where each other were at. So yeah.
Which is the cool part. I'm excited for the next generation of our tri-team kids to come through because they really did see a good group that we got with this first group in high school, and they still have another year or two, and it'll be fun to see that next group come up because it's tough when you're that young and you're the only game in town, I guess would be the way to put it. It's fun when you have like 4 or 5 friends and you're racing each other.
Yeah.
You are racing each other. Yeah.
I think once Maddie gets to a certain age, you're going to need another leader.
Oh, 100%. I will pay Maddie Wick to come back. Well, I will pay, if she's anywhere near during her summers coming back home or anything, I have a I know Jake has work for her too. But I definitely have a part-time job.
I feel like she is a big motivational factor for getting kids out there and getting the group going. Yes. And so I think you're going to need another one of those. And I don't know who that is because that person needs to be like 9th grade right now or something like that.
Exactly.
Whatever. You'll figure it out.
We'll find them.
They're out there.
Cool.
They are.
Hepler.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
All my stories sound boring now.
You did a triathlon. I assume that you did, we all did triathlons.
I did not.
Jake,
you were there.
Jake said he ran biked, so that counts as triathlon.
Yeah, technically Jake did a duathlon. What'd you do?
I avoided the Frenchman's Bar area all weekend.
You knew that people would heckle you if you went by.
I'm like, if I show up, I was going to come down. It just didn't work out. But I did race. We had our final short track race, our mountain bike short track race on Tuesday night out at PIR. It was a blast.
Good weather?
Yeah, the weather, it wasn't too hot, but still a little dusty. They had quite a few people show up. There was a PIR road race going on and the short track race going on at the same time. So It was a lot of fun. I raced in the 50 plus. Different race this week. 4 of us got away and just stayed together in a group.
At short track?
Yeah, at short track. Nobody went off the front. Me.
That's weird.
Terry, Brian Wise, and Mike Benet, another non-dialed guy. So but it was kind of funny though at the beginning of the race. Adam Van Arsdar, who does all these races, I don't remember what team he races for, but he got the whole shot, which was odd. I was super stoked for him. I've done a lot of races with Adam. And he gets to the 4th corner, and no kidding, 6 dialed jerseys went by him in a line. And he's like, oh, here's the dialed train going past me. I'm like, Adam, great start. Jump on. He's
Get on the
forget
train.
that. You guys are gone. So it was pretty funny. It was a fun race, high intensity. I avoided one crash where Jay Small inadvertently hit a tree in a very tight spot and jacked sideways. And
is he okay?
Was his bar caught the tree, or did he go square on it?
Well, his bar caught the tree. He either scrubbed the wheel in front of him or his bar caught the tree in this one tight spot. And he went sideways. Mike Hamness went right into him. I bunny hopped over Mike Hamness to avoid the crash. So it was a little bit crazy.
How important is it to get the whole shot in these PR, or do you actually want to be 2nd, 3rd, or 4th wheel?
It does. You need to be in the top 5.
5 to be. Yeah. You have to be top 5 bikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, once the corners start, you can just you just lose time.
Yeah.
If you're not in the top 3 or 4, guys just get away.
I literally can't think of a race that me and Matt would be worse at. There is no race we would be worse at.
It's funny.
I've never started a bike race well. Even back in my career racing days, I was always mid pack was a goal.
Sprint out fast, and it just goes against all of my I can go out easy and then just whittle through. No, you can't.
Yeah, not really.
You can't do it that way.
No, it's very difficult. But later in the race, so nobody wanted to go to the front. We were all sitting on Terry's wheel, even though we were all kind of going pretty hard. And there was a point where, in one other tight spot, I scrubbed Terry's wheel inadvertently and was going down and was able to unlatch my right foot and catch myself, dab really hard and not crash. And the guy behind me was like, whoa, Lance, I can't believe you saved that. And then I'm angry, and then I try to catch back up, but then I still ended up 4th out of that 4-man group. So I don't quite have that top end yet.
But think about it.
Still impressive.
You're getting the cyclocross skills put together.
Trying
on time.
Yeah, right. So
and I feel like
cross
that's
starts in 3 weeks. So.
That's got to be a little bit higher intensity than cross, right? I mean, is there a great cross is just a step below that? Oh, is it the same intensity?
It's about the same amount of time, same energy, same. I
just always pictured short track as you are just red lighting the entire time.
Well, my average heart rate was 174 for the race, but it was only a 30-minute race.
Dude, I don't even average 174 in 5K races.
Yeah. So these are 30-minute races, and cross races are like 50 minutes. So cyclocross is a little bit longer.
Minutes. Yeah. Jeez.
Same intensity, just a little bit longer.
That's great training then going into this was the last PIR, right? Short track.
That was it. Yeah.
And there's no more PIR road either, right?
No, there's several more PIR road races on
okay,
Tuesdays.
Gotcha. When do those end? Do you know off the top of your head, Joe?
I don't know.
There's like 3 more or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, but yeah, it was a fun night. We had a bunch of teammates racing. We had a lot of people there. They kind of butchered the series finale stuff. Like there were no podiums.
Redact the word "kind of."
Okay.
Or words.
Can we talk openly about this?
Because
I know that you guys are probably here about this, but me being a complete outsider who did not race any of this up, how did they mess that up?
Okay, it was because this race was rescheduled. So it was pushed from one of the Tuesday nights that was too hot. And so they postponed the race. So it wasn't supposed to be the series finale. The series finale was supposed to be in Washougal.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
No, first and third week were Washougal, second and fourth week were.
Well, I hate to say it, man. He butchered it. The race, everything was great until the race was over, and then we're like, okay, where are the awards? Where are the podiums? We've all worked for a month and a half of doing this. There were no podiums. There were no nothing. It was just ball dropped.
Whoops. Like nobody even came out and said anything. There was no results posted. There was no pomp and circumstance. And here's the reason why it's a big problem is because it's like Portland Racing used to do this short track series, and it used to be an 8-race series, not a 4-race series. And I'm sure they'll possibly get back to doing that 4 to 8-race series. But you come out and they're saying, come out, do the race, do the series, get the points, try and be competitive and try and be the series winner, yada yada yada. And then at the very end,
there's nothing.
He took the time to cut some stumps to make a little podium, but they didn't say anything about the results. He didn't even come out there and say thanks for racing. I don't think I ever saw the promoter. I mean, we saw Scott there, and I felt kind of bad for Scott because Scott ran the Washougal races, and people kept going up to him like,
"What's going on?
What's going on?
Where's
What's the
deal?" Awards?
So
Scott's like, I don't know.
Portland
Tony's
Racing.
not here.
Chris Shomps used to do this race, and there was
also last no announcer.
Yeah, there's no
announcer.
Yeah, but the last race of the series was always just this super fun, magical night. You come out there and the race had a lot like on it. You're trying to get your finishing, and they had Luciano on the mic and he's calling everything out and he's kind of saying where people are at. And
that's
like,
unfortunately
kind of pushing
I think
it.
what's missing is that energy.
And that's not here nor there. I mean, Luciano would want to be out there if he could.
No, I completely know the situation.
He just can't be out there right now. But you missed an
how big
opportunity.
Of a hole he leaves, is I'm sure that personality is amazing.
Yeah. Portland Racing left some big footsteps to fill, big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
They would have like a short track team relay night, which was a blast, and they used that as the time to get all of the award ceremonies taken care of and put into place, and it was just a great way to fill like an hour.
Yes.
And then they had announcers, they had all kinds of sponsors, and they called out every single series winner, and you got all kinds of fun stuff, and it was much ado about this whole event. Mm-hmm. Nothing. He didn't even show his face.
It was like, okay, I guess we're going home now.
And people are going over asking like the Ober officials, like, hey, where are the results? Are they doing a podium? Everybody's response was, I don't know. No results. I don't know.
It just fell apart. It was a big downer to finally get short track back after 3 years and have these short track races to all of us, for it to end like that was just it was just it was no good.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So it was too bad. Regardless, the racing was fun and the racing was spirited and it was full blast, and
that's all that matters.
So we had a good time out there racing.
Leave it alone.
What else happened the rest of the week? We had a lab lunch ride that half of was as prescribed, and the second half was absolute balls out. Go as hard as you can because Jake was late for an appointment. And
nobody had to go with me. I told everybody, I got to go. I got to be back. I was crunching numbers, and I'm like looking at a headwind. I'm like, oh, no.
We're not going to make it.
I'm not going to make it.
I got dropped. It was zone 2 on the way out and zone 5 on the way
Zone
back.
57 on the way back.
Zone 5 getting dropped. You're like, okay, here we go.
I made it back with like 5 or 6 minutes to spare. So
it was kind of funny. The next day, I'd gone so hard on the lab lunch ride that I went to the flogging ride. And
I should have hit you up on Thursday.
I
should have been like, You don't need to go hard on
I
Thursday.
blew up. I started with the flogging ride. I got.
What else did you do, Lance?
I also puked on myself because for some reason that's the theme of the summer.
Wait, what's
the story
nickname?
Why are we puking?
Puco de Gallo.
Was this another like you forgot the time of the ride and you're like, I'm in the middle of a salsa?
How much salsa?
It was it was too hard of an effort, too fast, with too much food in my stomach. That's what caught it. And it's not like nausea. It's like I'm coughing, and all of a sudden, whoa! There's part of my lunch.
Gotcha.
Wait, for this past Thursday, it was more lunch problems?
Yes.
Oh man, you should have rode with me, man.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I actually bailed on the ride. I can't remember a time I've done that. Like I was halfway through the first half, and I went left instead of going straight the way I was supposed to. I'm like, done. I'm done calling it. I'm riding home with my tail tucked between my legs.
This is why I do hard intervals on the trainer, because it's way easier for me to bail, because then I
just step off and you're done.
And then I can go eat chips and salsa.
I had to ride 20 miles home after bailing.
Back to the salsa.
Is there a Mexican restaurant on the way home that I could stop at?
I need more salsa in my life.
There's just some salsa that's been sitting out here in the sun for 2 weeks.
Well,
I'll take that.
I just puked up this salsa. I need to take in more now to replace that salsa. So
my salsa intake is low.
balance is off.
Oh, it was not good.
Have you tried avocado salsa before?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
If there's a salsa, I've had it.
Yeah. That one you'll for sure
on my shirt sleeve.
It'll taste better. But it'll taste better on the way up.
If there's a salsa, I have puked it up. That is brilliant.
The rest of the week, the next day, I went really easy for 3 hours. That was a fantastic ride. It felt great. Average speed.
Probably more what you should have done
14
on Thursday.
miles an hour. Yeah, it was. And then my whole family left for the weekend. I was home alone. My wife took the van and went river rafting with a bunch of her soccer friends.
Your wife's cool.
Yeah, she is pretty cool.
She's like, this van's cool. I'm going to take this van.
I'm taking the van.
I'm noticing a theme here, because Cassie also has friends that she'll go and hang out with. Are we all married to people that have friends, and then we don't have friends, right? I mean, we're here, but that's just because we don't have friends, so we have to be friends together. I think is how this works.
Right. We don't have any other friends.
It's like the podcast themes. Yeah.
I think we're all married to very sociable, likable people. What happened to us? Because he's home alone. I was on the couch by myself. Matt,
watching kids.
You were just lucky. You were just lucky your wife ended up coming back to the house, or she would have been gone for the weekend.
She had a
Jake's
choice.
on his paddleboard by himself, and that's
Yeah, Saturday I woke up and was not motivated to do anything after having kind of a hard week, but I finally left the house about noon.
It happens.
Kind of motivated around noon.
I was not motivated.
You did something cool.
I did. I actually, I have a little sports car. I have a little Porsche.
Oh yeah.
And I have a Sea Sucker bike rack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that I've had for it, but I don't
on the Porsche.
Yeah, I don't because we don't have another car. We have a van and the Porsche, right?
My God.
So I put the bike rack on the Porsche. Yeah, it's a Sea Sucker. It's like suction cups to the roof, right? And then I put my gravel bike on the Porsche and I drove out to the gorge. I had a great day.
You ended up on TikTok at some point, I'm sure, where they're something about expensive cars and bikes on top.
That's my whole freaking life.
I know
I'm
it
a cliche, man. I'm the retired dentist with a Porsche and too many bikes. Man, it's total cliche.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
So I drove out to Lyle, and I ended up doing the Klickitat Trail loop, which was it was
How far
fantastic.
Was it?
It's like a 40-mile loop. The first 10 miles are...
So some of it was road.
First 10 miles are pavement with a big 2,500-foot climb. And then it is gradual 1% downhill for 25 miles.
Oh, wow.
And it's all gravel, except it is chunky, rough gravel. It is not a highly used trail, and so it's pretty chunky and rough. I'm on my gravel bike. It would have been better on a mountain bike.
Then you would have to do that long road part on a mountain bike.
Yeah, that would have been a little more miserable doing that long. But yeah, I mean,
you probably picked the right bike actually.
I had a blast, and I really worked the downhill section. I took a bunch of KOMs on the gravel trail, which I really wasn't quite expecting. I was just going hard on it, and just it was fantastic. I had a great day. That was like the best day of the whole week. Even after racing, I'm out there.
Even after puking on yourself?
Puking.
Better than puking?
Racing, puking. And I drive out to the gorge. It was kind of gorgeous.
Yeah, it did look amazing. The pictures look good.
I did the same route that Terry Hamness had done a few weeks ago.
Are you stalking Terry Hamness?
But I am.
That's fair.
He's my hero.
He's all of our hero.
But I did it counterclockwise, and he had gone clockwise, and he said it was much more miserable clockwise.
Oh.
Because
you finished with the road.
Well, not that. Know. It's because it's like
1% up
into the gravel.
Yeah, it's like 6%, 7% climb up for like 10 miles and then 1% down for 30 miles. Okay, that's fantastic. And he did 1% up for 30 miles. So it took much longer, like an hour longer than what I did going the other way. So it was good times.
Fun.
Yay.
I raced.
Jake also raced at short track. I was screaming at him the whole time and taking video and pictures.
Yep. I had an off race. I didn't feel all that fantastic. And I unclipped 6 or 7 times. That's not the way that you want to race a bike. I need to put new cleats on my shoes.
Was your cleat worn out or was it loose?
No, it was worn out. It's 100% worn out. And it's unclipped a few times, and I knew better. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
And it was 100% my fault. As a matter of fact, we did the fog hat ride on Friday, and I rode my gravel bike, and I still haven't changed out the cleats. It unclipped on the fog hat ride.
When we're going like 12
miles an hour twice. So
gotcha.
Anyway, but still went out and had fun and finished like mid-ish pack and took second place overall in the series.
Yes.
So that was fun.
Nice.
Well done, Jake.
You already talked about Wednesday. We don't need to rehash that. Thursday
Jake
was...
smoked us.
Huh?
You smoked us on Wednesday. Thank you.
Oh, and then Thursday we did the flogging ride, which was fun. We had some new people show up, and it was a spicy ride. There was a lot of sections that have new KOMs on them now from our group that went flying through there. Yeah, the whole Hawkinson crawl thing. I think we shaved like 15 or 20 seconds off of that.
I believe so.
Ouch. And then I, for whatever reason, since short track, I mean, my energy level was low, but what killed me was all that dust out there. I still feel the dust in my chest today.
From short track.
From short track on Monday. And there was a lot of dust out there. So I ended up going out on Saturday just thinking like, all right, I'll do my normal easy ride on Sunday. I'll do it on Saturday and just kind of see how my body feels. And 20 minutes into it, I'm like, I feel like going home right now. But I still made myself finish out my easy hour and then ended up just taking yesterday completely off. So
probably smart.
Yeah, just listen to the body.
Just listen to the energy more. Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you go stand up paddleboarding or something?
No, that's either going to be today or tomorrow.
Okay.
My wife is taking a couple days off from work, and our kids are at the coast with their grandparents, so we're footloose and fancy free.
Single.
Has she been back at school for like the whole summer still? Because I know that with her role, it's obviously
an administrator.
Work.
Yeah, and she only takes 3 weeks off. I mean, she's already back, but she's not working like long, intense days.
Yeah.
You know, she's doing some work from home and going into the office and just getting things set up for the...
What do the kids do when she's at work and you're here?
Well, they're all old enough. They just kind of hang out.
You're living the dream, man.
Yeah.
My kids would be dead. They would kill
the house
themselves.
down.
They were like, oh, well, let's see what happens when you microwave metal things. Like, they love to just...
Let's skateboard off the roof.
Yeah. They're dangerous.
Light socket.
Yeah.
Yeah, my oldest is working. Gosh, she's working like 30 hours a week right now.
Is she really? Where's she working?
The Hammond.
Oh, that's a good job.
Yeah, and she only wanted to work like 15 or 20, and
they like her.
They like her, and they're piling it on, and she's a little upset because they're crushing her summer, but it is what it is. My youngest is busy with soccer and all over the place, staying with friends. And Barrett, he stays at home maybe 1 or 2 nights a week. He's got like all of his buddies, and he goes and stays the night at their house all the time. So it's like the running joke.
That's pretty cool.
Like, none of our kids are ever home anymore. So all good. Let's move on.
Yes.
Let's talk about the whole lead out news thing with that Champ Bailey guy. Is that Champ Bailey?
Are we doing
dude?
lead out news?
I mean, is he?
I thought we were going to skip it.
Are we skipping that whole thing?
We could.
Okay, how about this?
Champ Bailey, top 5.
Champ Bailey here.
Top 5.
Champ Bailey out.
Is there anything?
No, there was lots of stuff.
There's lots of stuff. I thought, okay, let's go.
Okay.
Go fast.
Okay, not lots of stuff,
We're
but
40 minutes into this
40 minutes into backpedaling. You freaking people can't stop talking about just, it was my own self. It was my own stories.
Who knows? We'll never know.
The fourth race in the Lifetime Grand Prix Series happened. Leadville. The Leadville 100 mountain bike race was on Saturday in Leadville, Colorado. It is one of the premier mountain bike races in the country, although it is not a technical race. It's kind of a fire road race. There's a few spots
where Evan should have raced.
This is where Ed Evans.
This is what I thought I was going to be doing.
This is what you should have done. It's 5,000 or 6,000 riders. It's a lot of riders, I believe. And Keegan Swenson just crushed the field again. So they were in a group of 15 or 20 up until the halfway point. It's kind of a unique race because it's an out and back, 50 miles out, 50 miles back. And there's a big climb at the end of the out and back. And Keegan just put in a dig and then just smoked the field. He ended up winning by 14 minutes.
Oh, wow. Power line, I believe is the climb, right? Yeah.
And so he won by 14 minutes, which is pretty impressive.
Do you know what his time was?
It was 6 hours flat.
What? Wow.
So the course record...
So you get a belt buckle for going under 10, don't you?
You get a belt buckle for going under 9. You get a big belt
okay.
buckle for going under 9 hours. So that's like the big thing.
Okay.
And he went 6 hours and 1 second was his official time. He missed the course record by 90 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Who holds that course record?
I don't know.
Whoever does, wow.
So near the end, he was like blitzing to try to get the course record, but he just couldn't quite pull it off. So pretty crazy how well he did. Hannah Otto won the women's race. Second was, I think, Rose Grant. Rose Grant, she's won it a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
She's won Leadville a couple times. And she just announced that she is retiring.
That's what
from racing after the end of this year.
How old is Rose?
She's 39.
Oh, yeah.
She got a couple
great
kids.
Career. Yeah.
Yep. And it's time for her to do other things. So she might still do races, but she's not going to be racing.
You always hope people like that stay around this, like...
Is she in the Lifetime field?
She is.
Okay.
She's in 6th overall at the moment. So, Leadville was super exciting. Lots of stuff happened. I had a friend of the podcast, Jason Woodland. He's a friend of mine from Utah. He went out, and I think he's done it for like the 5th time. He went 8:38.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Got another big belt buckle.
Good on him.
So good for him. Lots of other stuff happened. I think Alex Howes was in a bit of a crash and
he's probably pre-race favorite. Maybe.
Broke some ribs. He was in the mix.
Lachlan
Lachlan Morton. You guys are good
issues.
friends with him.
Me and Lachlan, I messaged him after the race, and he was like, "It's not my day." And I'm like, "That's fine, man."
Kit's like best friends with him. He's got pictures with him.
Yeah, he has
above the mantle.
He has one picture with him, and I think that Lachlan framed that and put it above his fireplace. I'm pretty sure. So
do we know what happened to Lachlan? Like what mechanical it was?
I think it was a flat tire. Actually,
I'm not sure.
I think he like blew one of his tires. Yeah, it was.
Like complete catastrophe.
He was blaming himself. He said he just was not picking the right lines, he was saying, I guess. But this is how good mountain bikers are. What they do is like they would blame themselves when they get a flat. No roadie's ever been like, that flat was my fault. No, it's like mountain bikers like, oh, I should have not hit that one random rock that was a little sharp.
Lachlan actually pulled himself back to 6th place. He still finished in 6th in top 10 overall.
He's so fit
crazy.
right now. Yeah.
Kind of interesting story. Russell Finsterwald, he had flatted badly. Russell
in 9th.
He was in 9th. He had flatted badly and was running down one of the descents because his wheel had folded.
Hey.
His teammate, Sofia Villanueva, I can't remember her name, but she won Unbound. She's leading the Lifetime Grand Prix Fitness.
She didn't give him her wheel, did she?
Their teammates, she saw him and gave him his wheel.
She was in the lead of the race?
She was not in the lead.
Oh, she was having a rough day? Or?
She was having a rough day, not feeling well. She
was
starting to implode.
Wow. Good
and
for
she
her.
decided, I'm not going to finish this race. Take my wheel.
Good for her. That's it.
So she bailed. She didn't even finish the race, and she gave Russell her wheel, and he ended up pulling himself
she
back.
She owes her dinner, many dinners. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty amazing that he did that.
Wow.
So
very cool.
Kind of lots of cool stories there that stuff that happened.
Cool race.
I don't know anybody else that was in this race. Sunday was the Steamboat Gravel race. Mm-hmm. So Steamboat is roughly I don't know, what is it, 3 hours from Leadville? It's 2 or 3 hours from Leadville. And the black course is 140 miles.
It's also way at altitude. Doesn't Steamboat?
Same.
Yeah.
Leadville's a little higher than Steamboat.
Okay.
Leadville's at 10,000 feet.
The city is at 10,000.
Yeah.
Jesus. Goes up and down. Yeah.
And I think,
Steamboat's probably similar.
Similar. And I think it was roughly 10 or 12,000. No, it wasn't that much. It's like 8,000 feet of climbing. So it was roughly another 6-hour race for 140 miles.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, interestingly enough, Keegan Swenson won that as well. So he went out.
So the next day.
I wonder if he's making good money. I wonder if he's making good money.
Well, he's going to win the Lifetime Grand Prix, and there's a $250,000 prize purse for.
But plus sponsorships, plus you get a little things for
money.
winning each of these, and that's a good year.
It, kind of interesting. There was some drama that happened in the gravel race, and the story hasn't completely come out yet. But do you know who Freddie Ovett is?
Yes.
So
Legion.
He races for Legion. Freddie races for Legion very fast on the road. Decided he was going to go do this gravel race. Did
he start a fight after the race?
God, Legion, no, please. I'm so hard defending Legion on this podcast, and if Freddie Ovett punched anybody, I can no longer defend this team.
So Freddie got away. Him and like 2 other people got away and got an 8-minute lead on the main group, which included Keegan Swenson, Payson McKelvin, Peter Stetina. It had like 30 guys in it, so there was a big group, and Freddie was 8 minutes up the road. They're 100 miles into the race. There's only 40 miles left, and they're still 8 minutes up. And there's like 5 main guys who were favorites, like Peter, like Keegan, like Payson, and none of the other guys would take a pull. They wanted those 5 guys to do all the work
after racing the day before.
Yeah, and I don't exactly know what happened, but there was some word exchange. There was some negativity that happened, and there was some kind of altercation between Stetina and Keegan, where Stetina said something like, "Race is over. They're gone. We're not pulling him back. It's not going to happen." And Keegan went. He didn't say this, but he said to himself, "F you, I'm pulling him back." And he attacked at 100 miles. And guess what? He pulled him back. He pulled back the 8 minutes.
Keegan Swenson is a...
So did he ride off that field and bridge the gap?
Wow. He rode off that field. Payson McKelvin bridged up to him. 2 other riders bridged up to him. So there were 4 of them, and they pulled back that 8 minutes.
Wow.
And then Keegan out-sprinted Freddie and Payson to win the race.
Wow.
Yeah, holy heck. So
also, dude, Legion is strong right now. If you can produce not only dudes winning every single crit in America, but also now guys competing in races like this, I mean, they are strong right now.
That's some range.
Well, these are some of the biggest races in the country. Some of these gravel races, so they got to represent if they want to be in there. So it's kind of crazy that happened. So I don't exactly know the whole story. It's not all out. Peter Stetina was hinting at it on his Instagram stories. And
I saw Nicky Terpstra was there too. I was watching him on.
He ended up 6th. He was one of the guys that.
Look how many former Grand Tour guys are in there. Nathan Haas.
Yep.
Nicky Terpstra out. That's basically
Brennan Wirtz was
he was. Yeah.
He's a big guy that has turned to gravel as well. So. Kind of crazy.
These big engines from the Peloton.
Exciting racing. Lots of stuff happened.
Anything on the triathlon side? There hasn't been.
There's going to be some stuff coming up for sure.
We could talk about Jan Frodeno.
Yes. There's one bit of big news that even Lance here knows.
I actually did hear this. Yeah.
So
he said no,
the
right?
The question, Matt, is he said his last, he wants to do 2023 Kona will be his last year. Does he race in Kona in 2023?
First of all, he is not going to race Kona because he's
out this year.
Hip surgery.
So what happened was he crashed.
He had a crash and there's an infection or something.
Yes. So there was an infection after they're
open
going
it back
in
up and they basically clean it out, right? And so he is not racing Kona. And he was kind of going to retire this year after Kona, and now the plan is to do another full year and then retire after Kona.
That's what he said.
2023.
Do you think he will actually race Kona in 2023?
He hasn't done it the last 2 years.
He
He's
really
not
has.
doing it. He's not doing it this
He has not had
October.
a full healthy race season in almost 5 years now.
That's because when you get old, stuff breaks.
Okay,
It does, but I also think it's when you didn't train sustainably for long enough, you really break down towards the end. Because guess who else is a similar age to him? Ben Hoffman. And I'll tell you what, Ben Hoffman's still out there.
I think
duking it out with just about anybody.
I think Jan's probably older than Ben Hoffman. That's my guess.
Only by a year or two at most.
Okay, so
Andy Potts is still out there racing.
Oh, Andy Potts
he's older than
Andy
Jan.
Potts is like 57 years old.
Andy Potts is
he's not. He's 45. He's 45.
But
that's still
what I'm saying
really
is like
that's really old.
when
in
we talk about
triathlon.
Jan being like the GOAT, he hasn't been the GOAT in 4 or 5 years now. He was the GOAT from a certain era.
It was maybe 3 years ago.
Can you call somebody the GOAT for an era? Greatest of
think
all
so.
time?
You're right.
Yeah,
Actually,
okay.
no, but I'll sit here and argue that Jan was not the greatest of all
you
time.
cannot.
Okay. Just to be, I'm going to argue with you because that's more fun.
I know, yeah, just
I will say that
argue.
yes, he is going to come back and he is going to win Kona in 2023.
He will not race Kona.
What did he say
I know,
he was
you don't
going to
think
do?
he's gonna race.
He says he's going to race it.
And he's racing.
No, he won't.
I think he'll
He's
race.
going to be injured. He's been too chronically injured.
My real true answer is probably like 50-50, but I think
I've also got
he races.
I've got a really hot aggressive take
I
on
don't
this,
really
which
think
means
he'll
he's
win.
probably going to come back and win Kona. I agree with Jake. He's going to prove me wrong here, and then he'll go down as the greatest
Kiss
of
of
all
death.
time.
He's not even showing up
But
now.
he won a gold medal. But during that era, he was not actually the best short course racer.
True.
He got beat pretty consistently by Javier
Consistently.
Gomez. He was
Absolutely.
consistently beat.
Javier Gomez was by
And then when
far
Ali
better.
Brownlee came around, he was getting beat by Ali.
Absolutely.
What did he do? He switched to long course. He starts winning long course prior to the Norwegian era, the ITU guys coming
But
up
there's
to
a
long
bridge
distance.
there where like Javier Gomez has never done well long course.
This is true.
And
73, he was good for a time.
But there was a nice big block of time where
Jan was the man.
Jan was the man, and he won every race.
Yeah, and I think he placed it very well competitively. I think he was in the right era to win a lot of races.
I think timing was good.
Yeah.
Timing was good. He didn't have to go up against the Norwegians, and now he
That's what I'm
will
saying.
in 2023, which makes winning very hard.
You two
But you're
shut
saying,
up. This is
you're
all
saying that
bull
he's
crap.
not going to start.
You're just guessing.
I don't think he's going to start. If he does, he's still not going to beat them. Christian will run him down. Yeah.
Or is it going to be Christian that's going to win?
Gustav, maybe.
I think Gustav. Gustav's my
Gustav.
guy. That's my pick.
This is way more exciting than what's going on in cycling right now.
And
This
triathlon talk.
Triathlon drama is so much cooler than gravel racing
Let's talk
drama.
about rocks.
Gravel racing drama is
talk.
just either.
Wait.
The phrase of the day is "Shut up, Evan."
Triathlon talk.
Yes.
Jake baited this too because he was like, "Did anything happen in triathlon? Let me cue this up here real quick."
Ready? And here we go.
Oh.
All right. Camp out.
I love how none of that was racing. It was all just like, this guy said this about this.
I know.
Gossip.
There was some gossip.
race
in there.
gossip.
Gossip
Lots of
talk.
gossip.
We need
Well,
the Vuelta to come.
even our Jan Frodeno is race gossip.
We need
Oh.
Kona and Vuelta to happen like now.
Let me say that
Very interesting.
teammate Ian Gibson went out to Steamboat and did Steamboat gravel. He did
Seriously?
he did the 100-mile race, not the 104-mile race, and he took 8th in his age group. Way to go, Ian Gibson!
Yeah, Ian Gibson.
Ian
Stud.
Gibson has got some range right now.
I
Speaking
know.
of people who have range, going from crit racing,
He's
to,
my hero.
State championship
Ian.
road race. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was out there for that too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good on him, dude.
Man's got legs.
Little
Way to go.
kudos to Ian Gibson there. All right, cool. Let's move on to our topic for the day now that we're almost an hour into this thing.
There we go. We can knock this out in 10, 20 minutes.
We very well could. So GCM put out a video recently, and it kind of caught my eye, and I figured, hey, let's talk about that and see if they're right or wrong, or if we agree or not, if there's anything we want to add to this as well. Their list of 11 things cyclists cannot live without, and I want to know, do you guys agree with all of these things? The very first thing on their list was data. So like your cycling metrics and being able to capture all of your
I
data.
think
Can you guys
Evan-
live
that's
without
Evan.
that?
Evan cannot live without lots of computers and technology.
Yeah, this is the one where I could.
I am.
I think I could manage without data.
I'm pretty addicted to having the ride recorded. I don't even know why. Like I mostly don't care.
I'm almost to the point where I won't ride if for whatever reason I can't capture some part of the ride, some sort of, whether it just be the Strava GPS, using the Strava app all the way to heart rate and power meter and cadence and just the whole thing, the whole thing. I need all that stuff, so I'm gonna agree with him on that one.
Yeah, I can't ride without data.
I would gladly go back to writing in my agenda and odometering in my car and knowing how far I went and then just timing the same lap over and over again.
Or
I would almost enjoy that more. Again, I would rather go back to that.
I used to go for
just
a
getting
run.
my cat eye that tells me what the time is.
Yeah.
That was basically
go for a run and then drive it afterwards and be like, oh, it was about 10 miles.
Yeah, pretty good.
If you could only have one unit of measurement, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question.
You
What's
you
the
get to
one
pick
you cannot
one.
live with?
Probably
only one.
Distance.
Average speed.
Okay.
I'll go distance.
All right.
Average speed's actually a good one. Yeah, I'll say average speed. Actually,
I'm going with GPS.
I would go average speed. GPS. Oh, that's
you could
cheating.
look at it. How about this?
Because that
You can still
encompasses
look
so
at a
many of
clock
them.
and then look at a clock when you get back, and then you have distance and time.
I used to tell you my run. I used to know around the neighborhood. And then I would run it. I had the microwave clock, so I'd sprint back in, look at the microwave clock.
Yeah.
It didn't have seconds though, so I had to.
So
everything was within a minute, and I was like, oh, you just race at 10K every day. That's how you get fast. Hard. Race it really hard.
Yeah, I can't live without data. No.
So, Evan, you can live without it. So this is off your list.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
If they even said clocks aren't a thing anymore, I'd be like, cool. I'm just gonna do this loop really hard a bunch of times.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. The next item on the list: a road bike. A road bike. Can you live without a road bike?
No. Love a road bike.
I feel like
they said a light, fast, nimble road bike too in the video.
This is true.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say road bike in general, though.
Could you live without the SLR?
Yeah. How about you? Yeah. How about you, Lance? Can you live without your road bike?
I could just do gravel and mountain stuff.
Be fine with that.
I would miss riding on the road with my friends.
Yeah.
Is what I would miss, and I would miss cruising at 25 miles an hour on the road. I'd miss that.
What if you had a TT bike, Lance, and you did triathlon?
Will you ever own another TT bike? I know that you still have one, but
I do still have one.
Bike.
Like
it's a relic
in the garage
somewhere.
Ornament.
Well, I know a lot of triathletes that don't have a road bike and they have a TT bike, and they're like, "Why would I have a road bike? I got a TT bike. Like, we're good." And there's a lot of them that do that.
There's a lot.
Those people confuse, and I know so many that might coach them. Those people confuse me. I'm like, no, but road bikes are so much better. You will love a road bicycle a million times more than you love your triathlon bike. But they don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I always think that if that's how you feel, then your triathlon bike is way too comfortable of a fit. Because mine is.
If you're doing an Ironman, it should be comfortable. If you're doing long. If you're doing like a sprint or an Olympic, then yeah, you should be stretching.
No, you should try to hold the most aggressive possible aero position you can for a full
You should taste the tire.
For you too.
Your back should be screaming. By
if
the
you
end
could
of that,
only own a road bike or a TT bike, what would it be?
Road bike.
Road bike, Matt?
Well, I am on a road. That's all. I don't really have a TT bike anymore. For right now,
assume you had two, and you could only have one to keep for the rest of life.
Probably the road bike makes the most sense.
Dude, when you're 67, you're not going to be like, man, I can't wait to get in the TT position.
I did a triathlon 2 days ago on a road bike, and it was fine. I mean, it's not as fast as a TT
I was even
bike.
considering doing my road bike
I
for
thought you should have. I was like,
but
I should have just had his road
I needed
bike.
to get a hard effort in the aero. So
it's an opportunity to spend time.
And Lucy
with
wanted to
Aero
win.
Bars, So
and
Lucy
bike
wants
is
to win.
3 miles an hour
as
faster for the
soon
same
as
effort.
Lucy was like, I know.
That reminds me, we did have our Obra State Championship time trial this weekend on Sunday.
I'm guessing that it was a pretty anemic showing.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Wait a minute, Simon Wu won.
Mm-hmm. He won the Cat 1-2.
Okay, I'm sure he's faster than me now, but let the record show.
But look, only 5 people did the
only
Cat
5.
1-2. It was down in Coburg.
Where was that Zach guy who won?
Yeah, it's a long trip.
Michael Myers time trial. He wasn't there, was he?
No, there's just a lot of people out of
We
town.
should go do that next year. Like
I would go do that.
We could be a state champion
I would
are you a
sign
state
up in the Cat 1.
If you win the Cat 5s, are you a state champion Cat 5?
No, it's an open category.
Oh, okay. You have to win the open.
If I went and won the state championship for Cat 1-2, could everybody stop making fun of me for being a triathlete? That's my only question.
Time trial?
No, I'm saying in general on the road.
Is it like is there an age group? Can I be an age group state champion?
Yeah.
What can I be?
There's age group and there was team time trial state championships as well.
Oh.
And we had a team that won.
It's age group, but they don't have category groups. It's not like you were the 4 or 5 road champion. You'd have to be like.
There's category 1-2, there's category 3, there's category 4-5 open, and then there's 50 plus, 60 plus, 70 plus. So
I'm getting you can be the 4-5 open.
Yeah.
Okay. So all ages for 4-5.
Yeah.
Okay.
All ages for. I think I would just be getting
and
older.
the dude who won the 4-5 open went 52-12, which was
That's pretty fast.
for 40K, right?
It would
only
have been
minute 12 off of Simon.
It would have been third in the 1-2 Open.
So I got no chance.
Under
they don't have an Eddie class.
They did have an Eddie class,
but it's not a state championship race.
Correct.
Which was dumb. It used to be, and I went down and I did it and I won, and there was only like 3 or 4 other people in the race, so I didn't even ask for the jersey because you get the state championship jersey. I didn't.
They need to. Where did they have this?
Wear it all the time.
It was down.
Wear it on the podcast.
Was down near Eugene in Coburg, Oregon. Yeah. It was put on by Twilight Operations, who's a Eugene promoter who does a bunch of races, and they were the one who were willing to put on the race. So
good for them.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back on topic here.
Yes.
So we're all yes on the road bike. Well, no,
Road
Lance
bike.
said no.
I said no.
Like if it came down to it, if I had to choose just one bike,
That's got the road bike, right?
no,
you choose gravel.
Really?
gravel.
Oh God, no! I'm out of here with that.
Because you can ride the gravel bike on the road.
Yeah.
I will gladly get buzzed by cars and flipped off for the rest of my life versus almost dying on a gravel road.
All right, the next one, coffee. Lance, you're all about the coffee.
Me and coffee are like terrible friends.
Like syrup and
enemies. I've never had a cup of coffee, boys.
Yeah, that doesn't
Does it smell good to you?
No. It does smell kind of good,
like
but
when
then
it's roasting. It's
when it's roasting,
Do you
it
think
smells
you'll
good.
ever try a cup of coffee? Just like
No, why?
I mean,
What's the point?
You've
at
made
this-
it pretty far at this
I
point.
know.
without
think
coffee.
you would like it.
50. How old am I? 52.
No one
Holy
knows.
I don't even
No one
know
knows.
how old I am.
No one does.
Yeah, it's just coffee.
Who's even
coffee
counting
would not
anymore?
taste good to you.
And
I
it's
promise.
all over my house now because my daughters drink it,
okay.
every day, and so there's.
It's very bitter and it's an acquired taste. And all of us, it took a long time for us to get the acquired taste. There's no reason for you to start.
I know that's
Yeah, I think.
Although there
I,
might be some health benefits.
good
but
for you.
whatever.
I think at this point, yeah.
There might be some defense
little
against
bit of
Alzheimer's. Were we talking about
half
that?
and
Yeah.
half or some
Yeah.
like oat milk
I
or
like to tell
macadamia
myself
nut milk
out.
in there? It's pretty good.
It is.
Yeah,
Whatever.
It is.
I can live without coffee.
Don't listen to
And
temptation.
Lance,
Yeah.
Lance
reason
out.
to start
Lance
on-
is out on that one. Evan, how about you? Coffee.
Oh, for sure, I would need coffee. Yeah.
Well, this is, I think, more supposed to be coffee rides because this is supposed to be bike related, right?
No. I'm
you
a
don't do
big
coffee rides.
I'm a big proponent against coffee rides, though.
You don't do them.
No, I never.
I've
do a
never
coffee
seen you
ride.
do a coffee
Absolutely,
ride.
I would
We
never
should do
a
one
coffee
sometime.
ride. No.
No.
That goes against everything I believe.
How about you, Matt?
I'm gonna surprise you. I'm gonna flat your
Flat my
tire
tire
and be like,
oh,
"Whoops,
that's irrelevant."
there's a coffee right here." That's it's like one of my favorite coffee places. I should go there. I don't think it's a requirement. It's not something that I need. I can't. The title is "Can't Live Without." I can live without it. I'm on decaf already, so I'm fine.
Okay, more coffee for me and Evan.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I can't live without it.
I mean,
right or no?
You don't do a coffee ride.
Even if they came out with studies where they're like, you
It
can
wasn't
be
coffee
faster.
rides. It was just coffee
coffee.
in general, and that is one of the proponents in there.
If you
and-
watch the GCN thing, the girl just is like, all my rides are coffee rides now, and that's what she's like really
before,
referring to.
during, a couple times during, a couple after, another one. Yeah,
Couple times during. Oh my gosh.
yeah. I can stop for a coffee. Like one of my favorite places to stop for a coffee is when we do the Bridge of the Gods loop. And we'll be out.
What's the spot out there?
Multnomah Falls.
Multnomah Falls. We'll go out there and
Gotcha.
you can get a little piece of fudge and you get yourself a shot of espresso.
Shot of espresso is the best.
That
Yep,
is
absolutely.
magical for getting yourself back
I've
home.
become a pretty big espresso is what I go for now, just a
That
shot or two.
Coffee there, and then you climb back up to Crown
Crest
Point.
House, yeah.
I always have good climb because I'm always like juiced up on
There
caffeine
you
from
go.
the coffee.
Yep.
That's like one of the best coffee places.
Yeah.
I think because it's 40 miles into the ride or whatever it is.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
No,
15, I don't know, whatever it
I
is.
don't want to go ride to a Starbucks somewhere on my normal route
Yeah.
and stop for 20 or 30 minutes. That doesn't appeal to me. But when you're going on a long ride like that kind of a situation, that's perfect.
It does.
Yeah.
It is appealing for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Or I can remember like you had a coffee ride
On
when
the
we did
200
STP.
STP.
Yeah, you stopped and that was like your saving moment,
You
right?
stopped in the middle of STP.
175 miles in, I was like, well, I stopped a couple times. for STP.
170 miles.
175 miles in, and I was like in this group, and we were moving really well, and I was just not feeling good. And I stopped, had a big cup of coffee, and got back on the road, hammered, caught that group, passed them, finished strong, felt like $1 million at the end of 200 miles, and it was because of the caffeine. It was not because I was like feeling chipper.
We pulled a Keegan Swenson and bridged 8 minutes.
It was ridiculous.
Gotcha. All right, the next one, chamois cream.
Oh God!
it's
There's
important.
no way you could live with. Yeah, I challenge anybody here to believe they could actually go without chamois cream.
No, I think a lot of people don't use it until they're doing like a training camp or long stuff. 100.
Are you serious?
You
really?
You use it every day?
Yes.
Do you know how many times? Do you know how many times in the last
Absolutely.
month I've put on chamois cream?
I don't even want
once,
to
I
know.
bet.
I don't even
Zero.
want to know.
Zero.
Oh my God.
But
are you serious?
Yes, I'm like
how
I'm like one giant callus down there. I'm like leather.
Dude.
I'm a happy medium between not wearing it at all and wearing it. I use it if my ride's going to be over an hour and a half, or if it's really, really hot outside and I know I'm going to be sweating a lot.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that just makes things a little bit worse, and then I will lather it up on there. So.
Oh, I'm every single ride.
And definitely if it's a race, it's going in there because I don't want to leave anything to chance.
Yeah. Race, yes. Longer rides. But if I'm doing 40 miles, I don't worry about it.
I rode these shorts this morning. Ooh. With no pad at all for like an hour and a half. I
one of those old school Ironman guys that just has callus down there and just can't feel a thing.
I use chamois cream if it's going to be like over 4 hours. I'll put some on.
Yeah.
4 hours is your
line.
Mine is if I'm on there more than 10 minutes.
Maybe my saddle is more comfortable than yours.
Well, I will tell you what, my road bike saddle. Love you, Mike Myers, but my God, I don't know how that man sat. I've callous to that saddle, but I do remember the first year I rode that thing. I was committed to that saddle. I'm like, I'm going to ride this saddle no matter what. This Mike, I was like, that Everesting was the first ride I had on that saddle where we agreed together, where it was like the saddle finally and me like got along. But my God,
you rode 12 hours on one saddle, and that's when you finally decided.
Yes. I wasn't even nervous about the Everesting from a physical standpoint. I was nervous about it from an
undercarriage
standpoint.
standpoint.
Sit on this thing for this long, and I did, and we finally got along. But if you had asked me to do that without chamois, I would have been no. Terrible.
Okay. Next one. A chamois. Not chamois cream, but a chamois in your bib.
I will say can't live without that. That's important.
Yeah, I mean,
whenever I ride, I do this all the time where I'll like ride to the pool or something like that. I'm like, ooh, because this is going to get a little bit too delicate of a conversation here, but you can sometimes catch certain important parts wrong on the bike seat.
There's certain angles that don't
the
work
way
very
I like
well.
the way I sit on the bike when I don't have like chamois or things like tightened up or whatever. I like back my body onto the
Bad
seat.
idea. Oh God.
So that I don't sit on.
You're
and
missing
hurt
the
myself.
visual Matt is sharing with us.
You roll the pelvis back, so it's okay. Gotcha.
So you don't.
So we're not getting the TT
anything.
position no matter what.
I mean, let's see here. Do I want kids? Do I want more kids than I've already got? No.
So what's the worry?
So how much damage can we do? I don't know. Let me ask Evan for an extra bike seat. I want to borrow his bike seat.
Office fan here. You know when Dwight Schrute is trying to.
What about the office scene where he was like, get a vasectomy, on again, off again, on again,
When
off
he's-
again.
when
Those
he's
things
on the bike saddle, he's like slamming himself on the bike saddle.
I
got a
never.
vasectomy because you wanted me to get a vasectomy. Then you wanted me not have a vasectomy, so I got it reversed.
Do you
Reversed,
have
on again,
any
off again,
idea
on again.
the pain?
Do you have any idea how much that hurts? That's another office reference. Someone was like getting our office reference from our podcast. I think it was Sean Henry. Was like, I got that. I got that office reference right away.
Sean.
So Evan's 100% yes. Matt's 100% yes.
No, I'm like, well, for having a chamois, we're good.
For sure. Yeah.
Chamois in your bib. Lance?
I don't wear them on recovery rides.
My God.
No, wait. You wear what do you?
I just wear like whatever shorts I'm wearing.
What?
Dude, if I'm even at like a campground, I know I'm going to ride around for 3 or 4 miles with my kids, and I'm wearing shorts. I still am wearing a bib underneath that just because it feels so unnatural sitting on that saddle, and it's just not happy times.
What I'm wearing right now, these are mountain bike shorts.
I have almost these same shorts,
But I do have.
It's tight there.
It's
but
tight.
Is there any padding?
There's zero padding. None.
Maybe.
And I rode an hour in these this morning.
No, I had some. I think it was Fox or Pearl Izumi way back when. I had the mountain biking short that had the built-in liner on the inside of them. I got a pair of shorts, and I really liked the shorts, but the liner inside of them, the pad was like almost non-existent.
It's like a triathlon pad.
I cut it out because it was like attached like these 2 strings, so that it was basically 2 pairs of shorts and one attached by the string. I cut those out, and I still wore the shorts, but I wore them over a regular bib.
Yeah, I don't.
I will say the triathlon pads are pretty thin.
They are.
And I've gotten used
But
to
your
that.
adrenaline's pumping so much during a race that I don't notice it during that. Like during the race, my goal is just get into the most aggressive position possible and hold it. But if I am training, I am not trying to be in a wildly uncomfortable situation for hours.
I rode mountain bikes with Paul for an hour in the park
with no
on
chamois.
Monday with no chamois with just mountain bike shorts.
Is Lance a Ken doll?
Yes, I think he is. True. He's just plastic.
I'm
and metal
all
under
smooth.
there, just
Straight smooth.
Very hairy face.
Very hairy face.
Very clean undercarriage.
Maybe you guys aren't trimming properly. Maybe that's what's happening.
Right.
All right, let's move on before this one goes too far off the
Too
rails.
late. Way too late.
We're like PG-12 right now.
The next one on their list was a cross or gravel bike, and I think this is going to fall under the jurisdiction of just bikes in general. Can you live without a cross or gravel bike?
Yeah.
You can live. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I can make it without either. Of
Somehow
those.
I'm alive and living without either of those bikes.
Okay. Yeah. You're missing out.
I know I need to
Lance.
get one.
Nope.
Can't. Okay.
If I picked one bike, I'd pick my gravel bike.
Same.
Yep.
I hate-
It could
sorry,
do
mountain
almost
bike.
everything.
Sorry, road bike, but
Yep.
you know, you had a child together, and
it's beautiful.
It's a thing. of
It's
beauty, yeah.
it's the next king.
Cool. All right.
I hate that child.
Clipless pedals.
I feel like that's a good
clipless
one.
pedals.
I don't have them on my mountain bike. I don't know.
No, I mean, I could definitely not live without them. Yeah.
What if your triathlon was faster without them? Like your transitions are faster. I really think someone needs to like do this study. Like we could do this YouTube video where it's just like your transition would have been faster. You're not going to lose that much power on the bike.
But
Don't you leave your shoes
but I
on the
think
pedals
that-
when you're a triathlete?
I mean, I would need to look into this
Yeah,
more, but I'm
but,
pretty
like,
sure that your
you
pedal
have to
stroke
put your shoes
ergonomics is
on.
going to have to change, as in like power distribution through the pedal cycle. I know that most power distribution is in actually a pretty small.
We
part
should
of
have
your-
done this at
But at
Columbia
triathlon,
River.
I can change and really like focus on my pull for a little bit. I couldn't do that the other way. So
At Columbia River, you could have saved time.
I should have.
You should have rode your running shoes right on top of those clip-in pedals.
Maybe I don't know.
Minutes. How much was?
I love my
how much-
clipless pedals.
Clipless pedals.
I put them on everything.
100% agree with you.
Clipless for everything.
The only thing I wish that they would do is go back and just change all the nomenclature.
Oh, yeah,
clip
that makes-
pedals
It makes no
should have
sense.
been
clip-in pedals.
I mean, I know the story as to why they were called that.
Yeah.
But still, it's
toe clip.
Yes,
And so then they
exactly.
came up with a clipless, and because
Yeah.
they just need to go back and change the name of everything.
Yeah.
What would be a better name for a toe clip?
Cage.
Cage. Yeah.
Yeah,
A toe
cage.
cage, and then
Toe
they could
cage.
have called these clip pedals.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway,
No cage pedals.
dumb.
Yeah, no cage.
Gloves. Next one on the list, gloves.
I don't wear gloves
I
a
don't-
lot.
I don't
and
even wear
feel,
gloves.
I feel guilty for not wearing gloves because I'm looking at Lance's hands and I'm seeing blood.
Yeah, that's just from the gravel ride, and that was wearing gloves.
Did you crash on that, or was that blisters?
It didn't blister. It just I lost a layer of skin, and you know how you go to peel off the dead layer of skin and it goes too deep.
Always.
That's what happens. That's what happened there.
So did you get a blister then?
No, it didn't blister.
Is that from wearing gloves
It's
though?
just it's wearing gloves. Yeah, just
So gloves
sometimes
are
the
bad.
skin just
like almost calloused and just like kind of
listen. These are the hands of a surgeon.
These are magical hands.
These are magical baby soft
Lance,
hands.
love making Lance.
These are the Lance romance hands, and they need to be soft and
they're very
supple.
valuable.
These are not working man's hands, so I have to wear gloves all the time. I wear gloves on every ride.
How about you, Evan?
I'd be fine without gloves. Yeah.
You don't race with gloves, do you?
Don't race with them.
That's too
I don't
slow.
even road bike with them. Actually.
What about on your race that you did, that mountain bike race?
I did no gloves on that, which
You
was
went no
dumb.
gloves?
Yeah. Well, I had
That was
winter
a
gloves on,
mistake.
but then I took those off. Yeah. I mean,
Eventually, you can't
There
grab
were
the,
many
the-
mistakes.
the grip anymore.
There were many mistakes made. That was one of the mistakes.
That was one
but
of
there
the-
was many other mistakes that were made.
So your sans gloves, pretty much most of the time. How about you, Matt?
I don't wear gloves, but I feel guilty about it. Like I know it's the wrong thing to do because I want to protect my love hands, as Lance would call them.
Those are
not
special instruments. Those
They're
are
not
instruments
they're not
of
as
pleasure.
they're not as surgically precise or as lovely as Lance's.
That's true.
But I still like them. So
100% gloves all the time, every time.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a really slow, like social ride, like the fog hat ride. I would probably go without gloves on that. As a matter of fact, I think I did this past week. But anything else, I have to. My hands sweat a lot, so I need to have good grip on the bars, and that really helps me. And then if you ever fall down, the first thing that generally touches the ground are your hands.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have like the scars are on the same exact spot on both sides of where obviously the hand has met the ground. But
Gotcha. All right, next one, mountain bike. Mountain bike.
I've enjoyed riding the mountain bike. I have. I've enjoyed it. But could I live without it? Yeah, of course I could live without the mountain bike.
samesies.
Yeah.
The older I get, no, it's the funnest bike I ride.
Yeah.
I have the most fun on the mountain bike out of all of them. So,
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this. I could live without it now.
3-1. Woo!
But it's the one bike that I fell in love with cycling because of,
Yeah.
and it's the one that I have had a ton of fun on. But it's also the one that causes me the most pain now. My shoulder doesn't like them as much. I still love riding them. I still think that they're a blast. But if I only had to, in this was one of those things. If it
This
came down
could
to
you
it, and I
live
had to
without
out
it,
it.
yeah.
I could. If I could only pick one bike, it's going to be the gravel bike.
Yeah.
And as I'm looking behind you guys, there's my mountain bike. She's getting
Gorgeous BMC.
She's
back
all
there, yeah.
all cleaned up, and she's going on the block. She's going up
Yeah.
for sale this week. So
Yeah.
that pains me to say that, but yeah, it's gonna go bye, and I'm gonna
You're gonna get a cross bike instead.
I'm gonna try. We'll see if
You'll eventually get another mountain
well,
bike.
I'll get another mountain bike. I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna have a mountain bike anymore, but if I had to live without it, I could. All right, next one: group rides, all disciplines, group rides.
Could I live without them?
I would have a hard time with that. Riding by myself, I feel like it's very boring. I mean, I do a fair amount of it, but
I do most of the riding is
by
solo,
yourself,
but it's so much better with friends.
I think that we all grew. Well, I know that you grew up mountain biking, so it's a different group dynamic with mountain bike. But I know that like group rides were how I got into cycling. Like road cycling, it was group rides was my first route in. So I could live without them. Would I want to? No, absolutely not.
No way. Can't live without the group ride. I have to have that in my life. I love connecting with friends. I like the social component. I like teaching and learning and, just sharing memories and doing all the fun things together. That's probably the biggest driving reason why I ride bikes is so I can go do it with other people that are good friends.
Yeah.
So 100% there. Cool. Matt, you said you can live without it or no?
I don't.
You're
think
kind of
so.
on the fence.
I don't think so. I like group rides.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. The last one on their list: increased heart rate or your intensity or your hard work, just getting out there and sweating. Can you live without that?
No.
Not currently.
No.
That's the only thing we all
Maybe
do
when we
this
get
for,
old
yeah.
or something, and I don't know.
Nah, but just the effort changes at that time. You'll still want. I think regardless of age, I still treat guys in their 70s who still
go
love to. Yeah.
full beach cruiser mode?
Cruiser.
I don't think I could.
No. Like I love how all of us here are guilty of this. And I know that I hear this all the time. They're like, man, racing's hard. Like I just can't wait till I can just like cruise out there. I'm like, will you ever? You're the guy who tells me your FTP down to a millimole, like the millidecimal.
Even when you're on a beach cruiser, don't you push the pace a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I'm on that gravel ride this weekend, and I drilled it for an hour because there might be a segment.
When you're
Your mind.
85,
It's like-
all you're going to do is jump on that beach cruise. And if there's some young 23-year-old out there on his cruise, you're going to be like, I'm going to kick this guy's ass. That's
possible.
So in 33 years, when Lance is 85, how
Yeah.
are bikes going to be at that point in time? Is
No,
everybody going to be
that's-
riding
yeah.
some sort of crazy e-bike and
Yes,
e-bike?
the
God, I
motors
hope
will be
not.
smaller. The batteries will be better. We'll be on some kind of e-bikes that
great.
Will
just,
we?
yeah.
Make me eat these words. I'll never be on an e-bike. I never
You'll,
will.
you'll eat those words.
Yeah,
I
you
will.
At
I
some
will.
point in time.
You're gonna be on an e-bike this week, man. It's so much fun. If you had a chance to ride an e-bike,
Oh no! If I had a chance to ride an e-bike, I absolutely
fun.
would. I just don't think that would ever be my primary. But like, I don't think if
No.
I was like, I'm gonna go for a bike ride, I would like choose my e-bike.
no.
If I was commuting somewhere, like heading on like a trip or something, yeah, I'd grab the e-bike.
I knew that the e-bike market was growing.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much it had grown until this past summer.
Yeah.
I can't begin to tell you how many people were calling us and asking us some sort of question about e-bikes or
I
they
heard
have
it
an e-bike.
outpaced cars in 2023.
It would not surprise me.
Yeah,
And just,
there were more e-bike purchases than car purchases.
We built a lot of
2022,
e-bikes
Oh, yeah.
here at
Yeah.
the lab.
Yeah.
there's a lot of people
lot.
doing
Yeah.
the direct to consumer e-bike purchases, and
Yeah,
they
'cause
get
everybody
there
wants
like,
to commute now.
Yeah,
That's
just go out and ride and be outside. and a lot of times,
Gas prices make sense.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
There's a lot of people that like would not go ride bikes otherwise.
Yep.
The fact that they now have a bike that can
E-bikes are
assist them.
great. Yeah. Yeah.
We've talked about this before.
I think my only problem with e-bikes is if you're on Strava and you're grabbing KOMs with them. That's my only problem with e-bikes.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's
Everything
a couple
else is
jokers out there,
absolutely
You
but
almost shouldn't even be on Strava with an e-bike.
There's
They
an
have
e-bike
an
category.
e-bike.
And I
Exactly.
also, in my
I know,
very
I
gut,
know.
I have a
But that's
problem with
just-
like an active male or female of a certain age, let's say, I don't know, 15 to 45 or whatever, in that age, and you're active and you're like, I'm going to start exercising on an e-bike. It's like, no, like, grab the bicycle and ride the mountain the way it was meant to be ride up. Really hard and in the wrong gear, okay? It's like,
What if you live at the top of a hill or at the bottom of a hill, and the only way to start your ride is up some
what if
nasty
you live
hill?
on the moon? I don't know.
Jake
This
lives
is
on a hill. Is he gonna grab an e-bike just to get home?
Jake is a beast of a human being. I'm talking about
Well, then be
Joe,
a beast of a human being.
Joe Black out there who doesn't, who
Joe
doesn't
Black better
hardly.
get in shape.
Wasn't that Mike Guyvan? I'm pretty sure Mike Guyvan can ride
Sorry,
up
Mike
that.
Guyvan. I'm just talking about
Mike needs an e-bike.
Yeah, like a normal
the average
person
consumer
that lives on a big hill.
Yeah, an e-bike will be helpful, and you're still getting some exercise.
I understand what Evan's saying, but I would rather see them getting on an e-bike as opposed to no bike at all and sitting on a computer. And
Same
gaming.
thing. I'd rather see somebody go and get a Peloton than not do anything at all. Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe
All
with the Peloton.
So that's their list. Did you guys like that list?
Yeah.
Is there anything that they're missing?
I think we could do better videos.
You know what? I'm going to throw this out there, you guys. I think most of you guys will agree. Radar on the back of your bike. That is one of those devices where I do not like I'll turn around, and this has happened to me like sometime recently where I've like turned around and been like, I got to go get something. Or I'll try to charge it up. I'm like, this is dead. I need to just charge it up, and I'll just wait.
That was what I was just going to say. I'll sit here for another 20, 30 minutes so I can give it enough time to, it's 100%.
The Radar is one where I'm like, I want this for whatever, peace of mind.
Yep. Another one on that list.
Do you skip out on the Radar?
Yeah. Except for when I'm on the road bike, usually
You have one
I
for
will.
the road bike.
For the TT bike, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't use one?
No, not on the TT bike. On the road bike, I will.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You should consider it.
Yeah. I need to change it. My problem is the mount is on my road bike, and if I'm just like going, it's usually the last thing I forget. So I'm usually like out there, and then in my head I'm thinking like, oh, I should have switched over now. But
yeah. I think I have another one that you can put on that TT.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, well, I can find one for you.
Yeah, I mean, I just need to stop being lazy and make this.
If you had
I just need to put the mount on.
If you had the mount, then it would be right. But then you just need to make sure you take it off for big races, which you will, because you go over your bike, I'm sure.
Yeah.
One that they left out that I think is an absolute must-have: sunglasses. You need to have those.
Yeah,
got to protect your eyes.
I've for a long time now. This is not just me being stupid like most of my things. Is my depth perception is a really serious issue.
You
with
save
with
that
how I
right there.
So my depth perception is an issue. So when I wear glasses, it is very hard for me to see very well. But I have been committing to the sunglasses more. My eyes are starting to normalize. I'm starting to
Can you
adjust
get like
the depth
prescription
issues.
sunglasses? That maybe something like that would help.
So my issue is my vision is significantly worse in my left eye versus my it's bad in both eyes, but I'm legally blind to my left eye. My right eye is better enough to where it throws off my depth perception significantly. I talked with my doctor about how to adjust to that. The only problem is and he agrees that with glasses it is tough. Like still depth perception wise, I'd be in trouble. My vision can be crisp, but depth perception is tough.
You race with contacts in.
Yes, okay. I race with contacts in. Nowadays, I'm training with contacts in too, but I will put on sunglasses.
Just keep your goggles on the entire time.
Not a bad idea.
They have
the swim goggles depth perception is even worse. Actually,
yeah, that's really
trust
bad.
me. My open as I have had to really make it a skill of mine to be an open water swimmer because when I peek up, I'm always jealous of guys like, oh, I'm 20/20 vision. They just like peek up without their goggles on and perfectly see where the buoy is. I'm having to like send radio signals to get there.
At the starting line, the race director's like, no, Evan, this way. point him towards where he's going.
Yeah. Oh, there are some guys who know that we usually start near each other. That's the joke is that I can't see crap. So they're always like, Evan, the first buoy's like 20 yards that way. I was like, oh, thanks, guys. Okay, good. Yeah, I got it now.
Oh, man.
Like it's the big, huge orange one right there.
Anything else you guys want to add to this list? All good?
All good.
Yeah.
Moving on. All right. Cool. One last thing, because he's always got one. He's going to start us first.
Sure.
Matt,
you always start with these. I posted a video this morning as of Monday morning, which
I saw the post.
Never happens. It's top triathlon watches of 2022. I think I'm just going to do this video every year. Like
which one's the best one? Epics?
I put the Epics.
It's number one.
I call it the Phoenix / Epics because they're kind of the same watch. The only difference is the screen. And then the 255 is third, which is, a very affordable option, and the 955 second. So then that's kind of the list there. Garmin just released something called the Garmin Enduro 2, which is kind of a Phoenix 7, but it's got a little bit longer battery life. That looks pretty good. There's actually a whole bunch of watches that are kind of like Phoenixes. That's kind of, they're a Phoenix with like a slight tweak to them. And so I didn't go through all of those little differences, but, there's like their tactical watch. I don't know what they call that one. What's their tactical?
Tactics.
That's what it's called. And it's basically a Phoenix also, and it has a couple of other small tweaks to it. It's got like a night vision goggle mode and things. Those are all Phoenix watches with some tweaks to them. So that was the winner.
Sweet.
In Champions.
Nice.
Watch it. But you have to watch the video to find out.
Okay.
That makes no sense.
That'll be my one last thing is I need to catch up on Matt's videos.
Yes, you do.
That's about
It's going to
it.
take a lot of time. Posting a lot of videos.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Outside of that, I don't think I have actually anything.
You don't have anything big?
No, nothing.
Lance Hepler.
2 big races happening this Saturday coming up, August 20th. We have the Portland Crit. The Portland Criterium is coming back after a decade being away, so it will actually be in North Park blocks in downtown Portland on this Saturday. So that should be some exciting racing.
You gonna race it?
I don't know yet. Because there's also the Sasquatch Duro gravel race.
That sounds like more your style.
Mike Ripley's final event in his Oregon Triple Crown race, and it's a gravel race out of Oak Ridge, Oregon, down outside of Eugene, and so that's also happening on Saturday.
Would you do that?
Maybe. There's three different distances.
Let me know if you do, because I think I might have a free code for you to get in.
Oh, that's nice to know.
Yeah. Cool. My one last thing is I am going to be putting on a clinic, a workshop, a little, how do you do this? Do you guys want to take any guesses at what that workshop might be?
Bike bag.
Change a flat tire.
Ooh, you're close.
Change a chain.
No.
Do general maintenance.
How to pump up your tire.
Oh, we're going to be more basic. I was going the other direction.
Wait, okay. Did you get a lot of this at the triathlon?
You guys. All right.
Come on,
time out.
triathletes.
Triathletes.
I will not defend this.
No,
Triathletes.
No.
I'm not going to defend this.
Triathletes are the pinnacle of sport and knowledge of all things cycling.
Except for bikes.
Wasn't there somebody who literally came with their chain broken?
No,
on Saturday?
he broke his chain on he just broke his chain like in the first whatever.
Yeah,
mounted.
That's
and
not his
slammed
fault.
Gotcha.
That was
just it happened. And didn't have a Masterlink form, and
I had a Masterlink for him, but it was SRAM, 12 speed, didn't want non-compatible with.
Exactly. So he probably needed a 10 or 11 speed or something like that. So I went out and we support Y Racing. We love them. We love the events they put on. We put out we take our mechanics out there and we support the races and provide all the tech work. And Cameron was out there on Saturday and she was helping some stuff out there and asked her how to go. She's like, "Yep, pumped up a bunch of tires for a bunch of triathletes." I'm like, "Yep, welcome to triathlon." I went out there on Sunday and no joke, there were two, because it was the girlfriends, and there was two women that showed up because it's just a women's only race. Both of them rolled their bikes up on the wheel like flat, like 100% rolling on the ground, like the tires 100% flat. Oh, on my last ride, I got a flat, and I'm going to be racing. Can you fix that for me, Mike? That didn't occur to you to maybe fix before the race? And what if I didn't have a tube for you? And anyway, so that's one thing. But the other thing is we provide these services for a lot of different races, and there's two different paradigms that we deal with and we see when we're doing like mountain bike cross gravel road racing. There's that group of people, and then there's the triathletes over here on the other side. So when we show up to all the mountain bike, gravel, road bike, and all that stuff, the question is, hey, do you mind if I borrow your pump? Yeah, it's right there, buddy. Go for it. All right, cool. And they go over there and pump up the tires, and then the triathlete walks up and say, "Hey, can you pump up my tire for me?"
Yeah.
And it's like, sure. How much air would you like in your tire? I don't know. Whatever you think.
I will be completely honest. As much as I do think me and Matt are of two of the more experienced people in the triathlon community here, we'll say overall over the years we've been in the sport, however you want to classify it. I feel like we're very optimistic, positive. I try to make sure that if you don't even know anything, you can get in the sport and do this.
Yeah.
What I do dislike, and I know people like this, and you know who you are. So if you listen to this and you're offended, good. So seriously, I mean, come on. Like this was a problem in Ohio too, a triathlon community. If you've been in the sport long enough, you need to have a respect of learning how the heck your bicycle works on a base level. I'm not saying you need to be able.
You don't need to tune a derailleur.
That's what a bike shop is for, is to be able to hey, if my derailleur is really having issues, yes, you bring it in and you learn something. Maybe you get small adjustments you're able to make. Then cool.
Yeah.
Like the audacity of some of these triathletes to learn absolutely nothing about their bicycle and show up to races and expect that the entire world's going to be catered to them. Me and Cassie had this talk. There's a certain portion of triathletes that annoy me. There is a serious entitlement there.
I'm defending this group.
Be a devil's advocate here, because I cannot disagree with you more.
Because here's the thing.
It's a serious entitled thing. It's
the
very
reason
entitled.
that triathlon is a cool and welcoming sport is because we take people that have their rusty bike that's been sitting in their closet for half a century, and they're like, I'm going to do that triathlon. I have a bike. I'm just going to grab this one.
Yeah.
They roll it out. Guess what? Those tires are flat. They don't know what
Well, did
to
you
do.
train yet?
And they probably don't have
no.
They don't have
Well,
a
then you
floor
have no
pump.
business
training.
being there. Get out of there if
No,
you
no,
didn't
no.
train at all.
They're just
You're
gonna
the ones who
try
are
to
dragging out of
finish.
the water when they like.
Did I train?
They want the
Did I train?
participation medal.
Seriously, no.
I didn't
I'll
train.
completely disagree with Matt. That
swam.
person,
You
that
swam.
person, I am tired of
swam.
in triathlon because that person comes
tired
to the
of me?
race.
You tired of me
I'm
at the
tired
race?
of you. I'm tired of this guy over here.
So here's the thing. That's my argument.
You need to
is
drag that
we
rusty
are-
bike out, learn how to pump up the tires, train for 3 weeks, then you can do
3
the
weeks.
race.
So instead of tapering for 3 weeks, you should train for 3 weeks.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
ludicrous. That's ludicrous.
I will agree to you to a certain extent. I will give that person a hall
Full
pass,
beginners, yes.
and that's
Hall
why I'm going to
pass.
offer them this free clinic to learn how to pump
Yeah.
up their tire.
But they
just
already
pump, we're just putting air in
because
the
they
tire.
already did the triathlon. They're done for the next
then-
couple years.
Oh God.
Because they haven't ridden
get
the bike.
you
in
get one pass.
A month and a half.
Yeah.
One pass.
Now, if I've
Did
got
you-
somebody that's rolling up and they've got a teardrop helmet and a skin suit and they've got a TT bike that they probably spent $3,000 or $4,000 on, $5,000 on,
Pumps
hey,
over there.
Hey, can you pump up my tires on my bike?
No.
What's your take on that? What are you saying to him? I mean, we all know that I, of course, said yes with a
Oh, of
smile on my
course-
face,
of
but in the
course
back of my head,
everybody
it's
here
like,
is
are you
smiling,
kidding me?
doing
The
it.
pump is right there. Go knock yourself out.
My theory on triathlon, like when I got into it, it was very interesting to me. It was like different than running. I realized pretty early on that like this bike part is important, and if the bike part is important, then you kind of like, I feel like everyone that's a cyclist is kind of a mechanic to a small degree, right? Like it was just like every cyclist knows how to, change a tire, probably change their chain. If you're like a cyclist, if you're like into cycling, like you could probably change chain out. You could probably
Chain's
all
even
these
pretty
things.
niche. I feel like that's tough.
It's
No,
it's not rocket science, but it's something you have to
like
learn.
a more
but,
niche
but my
skill, yeah.
but my theory was that like if you're going to be into cycling, which triathlon that's a huge part, that you were going to have to be a bit of a mechanic. And so I wanted to get tools and I wanted to figure this stuff out. Not that I'm a pro, but at the same time I do think that, you should learn to fiddle with the bike a little bit and learn as much as you can.
I'm saying very base level even because I know that I am not a good mechanic, but I at least know. Luckily, when I got in this part, I was able to work at a bike shop, so I was able to learn.
Take pedals on and off.
Yes.
Like things like that are like not killer. You just have to, you need the tools and things like that to be able to do it. Pumping up a tire is very minimal.
I'm saying that is the minimum.
That's the baseline.
That is the minimum.
Everybody needs to know how to change a tire, and they need to know how to put air in their tires because
they need
it's
to know
something
how
that
to
you have
take
to
their
do
wheel
all
on and
the
off.
time.
So when I see this happen, and I'm not going to try to stereotype any type of certain person, but I kind of feel a little bit bad for these people that are like, oh, can you pump my tire up for me? I'm like, okay, you're in this sport. You've got all the gear, it's not your fault. Like no one has taught you yet. No one has taught you how to do this stuff yet, and you are not confident.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. It's like the lack of confidence.
That's why I'm going to provide a free workshop, Matt.
Free workshop.
That's the right answer.
I'm going to invite all of the Pacific Northwest so they can all come over here to the lab, and we're going to have a whole this is how you pump up a tire.
I think if the Y Racing email goes out, that's a good place for that to go.
I'm going to make a video. Maybe you can help me make
I'll help you make a video.
Funny video.
How to pump up a tire. Yes.
I don't know. I don't want to. I'm not going to make fun of anyone.
No, I'm not making fun of anyone. Just have fun with it.
I will make fun of people.
they can draw their own conclusions.
I am all for this.
And if you're not in, then I'll do it myself.
Also, I'm all in on this because Kid already wildly makes fun of me for my lack of mechanic skills. When we're talking, he actually can really tool on bikes well.
Yeah.
So I get made fun of for
That's
this
funny.
all the time.
Yeah, I'm out for it being making fun of triathletes.
That's Matt's audience. He can't alienate his audience.
No, I can. I'm happy to make fun of triathletes. I love doing that for fun. It's just I do feel bad for people that show up that don't have like the mechanical skills and I think it's a lack of confidence. That's my theory.
Well, there is a part of this though. I think that the triathlon community kind of coddles their athletes a little too much.
Absolutely.
And I think that the expectation is that the mechanics are there to provide you whatever you need on race day. And I think that they're kind of thinking that like, oh, I paid for this, and they charge an arm and a leg for these races.
That's the thing is you're looking at this from your experience, and
but that's the only experience I have.
I know, but I'm saying like you're not the guy we're talking. There is And this was also, remember, I worked for a race organization that put on triathlons in Ohio. So we saw, just like Jake has, the
repeated
offenders. And it's not the extraneous variables. It's actually a lot of people in triathlons. So I do agree with Jake. We coddle it too much and we're like, no, man, that's okay. Nobody's taught you. You're a grown 45-year-old person.
Right. Yeah.
You can figure, YouTube exists.
Yeah, that's true.
You can fit, you spent $4,000 on that bicycle and you're telling me you did not know that you, like, how to pump up the tires.
Then I'm going to blame.
Then you should feel shame. Like,
then
shame's good there.
Then I'm going to
feel shame.
I'm going to blame the race directors for not educating the
hey, you need to have your tires
racers.
pumped. Yeah.
Not that, but just like, hey, you know, like, here's some learning resources within every sort of, because they give you like this pre-race guide, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like they should provide instructions on, like, we will have, you know, bike mechanics there to help you if you have any problems or whatever.
Yeah.
But you should know how to have your bike in working order. Here's some resources.
That's not a
That's
bad
a good
call.
idea.
What about the person, though?
Even just having the pump sounds good because I will say, like, so for an Ironman race, and Matt knows this, is you go and it's very cumbersome to bring a pump because you actually have to have a bag that you hand off. So really bringing a pump does not make sense actually on race morning. So
but someone does it and then you pass
we
the
are
pump
lucky.
around.
There is literally a pump there for us. So like we'll go around and there's always like the one super prepared guy, like the Matt Russell group that's like got all the adapters and everything. You just walk over to Matt and
So
you're like, thanks, Matt.
when
you're
you
the
show up
best.
in a pro race, are they pumping your tires up for you or are you doing it yourself?
God, no.
Okay. No, and
I also build my bike all together too, and I'm not that good of a mechanic. I build it and take it all
as does
apart.
every pro, even like the top
all of us.
top guys.
Yeah.
They all pump their own tires. Yeah, which
and I even
pump your own tires, build your own bike, take your own bike apart, put it in the box, take it out.
Past
of the box,
couple
all
races, we will set up the A-frame racks, and I'll put it away from where I have my mechanic stuff, and I'll purposefully set the pumps next to those so that they're not right next to me because I'm just curious, like, are they still going to ask me to pump the tire up? I'm just curious, like. I just want to have one triathlete come up to me and say, "Hey, can I borrow your pump?" And I'm going to go give that person the biggest.
You
hug.
haven't had like one?
Not even one.
Yeah.
Every one of them is like,
I don't
"Can
know
you
why you're
pump
shocked
up my
by this,
tires
Matt.
for me?"
I feel like the
Matt
ones
has too
I
much
pumped
faith.
up like 20
He has
tires
way too much
yesterday.
faith in the track.
And 2 of them showed up with freaking flat tires because the last ride they did it was flat. It's like, come on, man.
So
woman.
To in even more defense, that particular race is very much targeting people that are not familiar with this sport.
100%.
And then again, it's all women's. It's supposed to be very non-intimidating.
Yeah.
And
oh, you know what? I take this back. One person did show up. One person racked up their bike on the A-frame rack and asked, "Can I pump up my tire?" You want to know who that was?
Who?
Maddie Wick.
Let's go, Maddie.
Maddie Wick, you are a sweetheart.
She knows.
And she knows.
Maddie also knows how to change her own tire.
Yeah,
she
knows.
She's learning tubeless well, which tubeless is not easy at all.
Well,
like
that's true.
tubeless is not easy at
her
all.
dad's doing a great job of teaching her. They come in and ask questions.
Maddie knows her stuff.
But to Maddie Wick, my hat goes off.
The juniors able to. I mean, we even have juniors that I've told they're learn how to change their own tires. There was what do we have recently? One of the girls who honestly I was not sure did not have a mechanical sense at all was able to take off her rear wheel. It's all stuff that's
we did a workshop for a bunch of kids here on the juniors team. There was like 7, 8, 9 of them that showed up here, and we're supposed to be doing another one for the ones that couldn't come.
Yeah.
Again, I'm happy to do that stuff. I want to impart this knowledge on people as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And teaching people how to do that kind of stuff, I think,
but
is
it's also
fantastic.
good to make fun and tease as much as humanly possible when it comes to triathletes. And because that is all that I did.
And another
happened to myself through my
tangent
entire
quite a
early
bit here, and this is
career.
the longest one last thing ever. But there are 2 people that do show up that ask for their tires to be pumped up, and there's those ones that's like the little deer in the headlights. Like, I honestly, sincerely do not know how to do this. I have no idea.
Those are the people we are here for you and support you.
And I'm fine with that. And then there's the other one that comes with the mindset of like, you're going to do this for me because I already paid this money to be at this event, and it's a little bit of a like entitlement.
I think in the race instructions, it should also say like, there is a bike organization volunteering to help you with your stuff. Like, and some people like tip you guys, which I know you probably didn't see that yesterday. But
no, I had 2 people offer to tip me, and I said,
"Yeah, I mean,
please, you don't need to give me any money. Just pay it forward. Do something nice for somebody down the road." That was my response.
I feel like that's awesome.
Yeah, they should say though.
They should say
like a bike pump will be there for you to use.
Yeah. Maybe not. I feel like people should.
No, I just want to teach a man to fish here. So.
Well, I know, but my expectation is like you show up to a race with a bike pump. You might leave it in your car. You might double check everything.
A local race, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. If you went to a race, if you were just going to a race to participate,
I have a bike.
Would you bring a bike pump?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I bring
I have
everything.
a bike pump
you
in my
always
car.
take a pump with
that doesn't leave my car. It's
The
in
only
my car
time
all the time.
The only time I don't take a pump is when I know Lance is going to be there and I don't need to because he's already got it in there. So
it's in the van. There's a pump, or there's 2 pumps in the van.
But I generally keep a full tool bag in my van, and I keep a pump there too, knowing
I
that
only have a torque
like,
wrench.
someday
There are tools I need to.
Someday I want to be driving down the
me.
road. I want to be driving down the road and see somebody on the side of the road, just throwing their hands up there, like I can't fix it. But I want to pull over and help that person.
I fixed this kid's bike the other day.
Yeah.
He was
Good on
biking
you.
in downtown Camas, and you feel so accomplished. You're like, yes.
Yeah.
He had his chain really wedged inside of it dropped on the inside, and
Okay.
he fixed it. And I was like, yes,
Sweet.
big time, big day.
Anyway, Matt, I know where you're coming from, but triathletes, I'm going to teach you how to change a flat. I'm going to teach you how to put air.
I'm just tired of us getting made fun of.
I want to
for this stuff,
see the
Matt. We need
link
to be
to
better.
this clinic. I kind of want to come and watch.
Do you want me to teach you how to put some air in your tire, Matt?
Yes, sure. I'm in.
Right on. All right, this has been way too long. Sorry about that.
Long Dial Podcast.
We'll be back with another one next week, and until then, bye for now.